among a lot of intermediate guitar players, there's kind of a big hurdle that everyone has to go through, especially if you learn scales the way that I did. One of the common ways to learn scales is in these box shapes. There's different positions along the fretboard, and usually guitar players will learn the pentatonic shapes kind of across the fretboard. And the thing that everyone falls into is that you feel like you're just kind of stuck in these boxes. I know I felt this way, and it does affect your playing. The common one that most people know how to play is like the main minor pentatonic shape. So I'm in B minor, and I'm going to play the shape. Guitar players learn this, and then, you're playing a guitar solo, and you feel like that's the only place you can go. You don't feel comfortable going underneath it or above it, anywhere else on the neck. You're kind of stuck in these boxes. And then maybe you learn some other boxes, so you learn the one after. But you're still just kind of confined to these little, 4-fret spaces. One of the downsides of this is that your note choice is limited and your phrasing and playing options are limited. For example, you kind of get stuck playing all these very linear, which is cool, but maybe you want to play something a bit more angular and with wider intervals. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Doing this thing that I call superpositions of the minor pentatonic scale. So essentially what it is creating bigger boxes from these pre-existing boxes. So you don't really have to learn anything new. It's more about just thinking of these positions maybe a little differently. Let's take a very simple example of this. So I'm going to take the first pentatonic box of B minor, the one starting on B, and let's take the pentatonic shape starting on the next note, which is a D, which goes like this. Now the concept is that we're going to combine both of these positions into a single position. There will be repeating notes. That's okay. There's repeating notes all over the guitar. So we're going to play this as a single 3-note per string pentatonic superposition. So slowly, it's going to sound like this. The idea is to practice this as if it's a single pentatonic shape. I'm taking the shape of the pentatonic scale and extending it. So now I have more of the fretboard that I'm visualizing and notes that I have to choose from. Another thing that I've noticed intermediate guitar players tend to do is when they're learning these scales and playing them and practicing, they're using a lot of their ear rather than knowledge of the fretboard. For example, when you play all this stuff in order, so I'm playing the notes in order, it's very easy to just use your ear to be like, oh, I need to go a half step up or a whole step up. It's good that you can use your ear to hear that, but I think it's also important that you're able to visualize scales on the fretboard, and using your ear is a hard way to do that. So I have a few practice techniques to work on these combined pentatonic boxes scale visualization. The first one I call a diagonal pattern. Instead of playing 3 notes on the same string, I'm going to play 3 notes on 3 separate strings in a diagonal way. So what I'm playing is the first note on the first string, the second note on the second string, and then your third note is going to be the third note on the following string. So I'm getting these notes from that superposition scale. And then I'm just spreading them out diagonally. And then now you just take this and then you go down the strings. So it's gonna sound like this. And then you go the other direction. The point of this is that it forces you to visually see your scales rather than purely relying on your ear when you're playing them in order. I don't want to have to play the scale in order to play the scale. You know, the next step of this would be to take this idea and expand it further. So now I'm going to I have this position, which is a 3-note per string scale. And I'm going to turn this into a 4-note per string scale. So I'm going to add the position before the main B minor pentatonic shape. So the position before sounds like this. And now if I play these 3 positions together as a single superposition, it's going to sound like this. So it's 4 notes per string. And now, instead of only visualizing 4 frets of a scale, or even a 6-fret distance of the B minor pentatonic scale, I have an 8-fret or even 9-fret distance that I'm memorizing of this scale, that I'm visualizing all at once. So I have this entire amount of the fretboard that I have to choose from when improvising and soloing. So here's like an example of how this could sound. So I'm just going to improvise, and I'm going to use the superposition of the B minor pentatonic scale. And you're going to hear it's a lot of wider interval playing. I do a lot of legato and hybrid picking, and so that also really lends itself to this style. It just kind of frees your phrasing and playing. So I have the tabs for a few of these superpositions and a few different practice exercises available if you are a channel member. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can check out the channel membership. There's also a bunch of previous live streams that you can view and a couple member-only videos. I'm also currently giving one-on-one guitar lessons. So if you're interested in having a one-on-one online Skype guitar lesson, we can chat about whatever you'd like. I offer 4 lesson bundles or single lessons. You can check that out. There's a link in the description. Yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.